for today's relationships and that age-old question, can this marriage be saved?
Yeah, with its column by the same name, Ladies Home Journal has been trying to help couples with that very subject since 1953. But now they are launching webisodes online. Sally Lee, editor-in-chief of the magazine, is here with today's contributing clinical psychologist, Jeff Gardere. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, a couple of things in life never change, and that's people have trouble in their marriage.
That's right. This column's been going for 57 years, and it's still one of our most popular columns.
I like the idea of how you kind of upgraded and you turned it into webisodes, something people can watch and understand, right?
That's right, because we wanted to bring the column to a wider audience, and we wanted to do that on the web. So that's why we created CanThisMarriageBeSaved.com. And, you know, as you say, the issues just don't change.
And people can identify with these things. They watch them. They're very entertaining. And you could say, wait a minute, some of that stuff is going on in my marriage. How do I work with it?
All right, well, we're going to watch some of these webisodes that you guys produced and took care of, and they're on that website. So the first one, it talks about how a dog isn't always a man's best friend. So let's listen.
When she gets home from work, she rushes in to kiss Penelope. When we're watching TV on the couch, Penelope wheedles her way in between us. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous to have a dog in bed with us. Come on, man. It's a dog.
The dog's in the
But
bed.
a very well-loved dog.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I guess that could be an issue.
Well, the dog really isn't the issue, and I'm sure Jeff will speak to that,
Yes.
but it's really a vehicle for something that's deeper in their marriage. It's
She doesn't like him anymore,
video.
does she?
What is the deal?
Well, I think what's going on, the dog is definitely a red flag, should be wearing a red ribbon. And it's saying that they're having issues with that intimacy. Instead of her loving him in the way that he needs, that dog is more of the security blanket for her. There's something going
What
on
if
with
she's
them,
always
too.
loved the
Frank
dog?
accuses me of that all the time.
Is that true?
Yeah, yeah.
But what if she's always loved the dog since they met? I mean, that's just part of the package.
Well, but she needs to understand husband is number one, dog is number two. She could still love the dog, and she needs to share the dog with him so he doesn't, in this webisode, he says it's either the dog or me. He shouldn't be doing that either. Shouldn't be
Ultimatum
giving her
time.
that ultimatum. So what they need to do is set rules. The dog does not sleep in the bed with them. When she walks in the house, she needs to give him a hug first, and then he could
then
start
go to the
opening
dog.
up that intimacy.
The dog.
Then go to the dog.
Right, and deal with it with the dog, because this sometimes happens when husbands get jealous of the affection that mothers have for their children, too.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's go to our next webisode and see what the issue is.
Understand why she's so suddenly turned off.
I've tried explaining to Jim how overwhelmed I feel, but he just doesn't get it. I really do love my husband, and until this whole sex thing became such an issue, we got along perfectly.
Oh,
Now, is she an actress or she's a real person or an actress?
It's based on a real-life case, but
Right.
she's an actress.
Okay.
And we hear that all the time when a woman may say that sex thing, it almost becomes an alien sort of situation in their lives. And it seems to me he needs to understand a little bit more what her needs are, that she's completely overwhelmed. She just had a baby. Maybe there's some depression, anxiety going on, but he needs to listen to her. Because he won't listen, now she's even more turned off. But she also needs to understand it's not a sex thing, it's a sex situation that has to be addressed. People need to communicate in that way.
Are there no men that say that? It's all...
Well, for men, it's a little bit different. I think if a man says it's a sex thing and doesn't want to address that, it's too tied up in the ego, and he won't even admit if he's having some issues with libido. He'll come up with something else.
He'll blame it on somebody else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like
Or
that.
her. Blame it on her.
Hey, why
You're
not?
not turning me on.
All right,
or
one
whatever.
more. Let's hear our final clip.
She insisted on having a say in every little detail, from who would marry us to what color the table linens would be and what color the flowers would be. I mean, I was almost having tears most of the time because I felt like she was implying that I had bad taste.
I know Marnie finds my mother irritating, but I didn't realize how bad it's become. Marnie's always complaining that my mother's butting into our lives.
The mother-in-law,
She
she's in the way, get rid of her.
Yeah, this is a young couple who have problems setting boundaries and limits, and it really plays out in this video. It's kind of, it's a funny video. You have to
But
see it.
it's a very serious problem. I see it all the time in my practice, and I don't like to play the blame game, but I think he needs to get in, step in, and don't let them go at it. He needs to put mother out of the
gotta
way.
go,
He's
Jeff.
married to
Yeah.
her, not the mother. Right.
That's right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.